Hello, everybody. Welcome to Developing Devotion. I'm your host, Taiha Perron. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, wherever you're coming from around the world, knowing that this message is finding you at the exact right time in your life. I am so excited for tonight's show because I'm finally diving into what I do best, numerology. This is something I'm so passionate about as I discovered numerology probably a decade ago for the first time. It completely changed my life. It woke me up to this blueprint that we are gifted with upon birth. That's what I really believe our birthdays are all about. They are like our genetic blueprint that God, the universe, gives us in helping us to navigate really the role of our life, really our identity. And so that's something I'm super passionate about. There's going to be a lot of information tonight, so you're going to probably want to get your notebook, start taking some notes, and we're going to dive right into it. And don't forget, Facebook Messenger is where I hang out. So if you're wanting a one-on-one reading with me or to really dive deeper into how to navigate your numerology, feel free to shoot me a message. I would love to support you in this way. This not only is a spiritual, metaphysical tool that we can use, but it is very scientific. And that's why I love it. It really does bridge the gap. Numerology really does bridge the gap between spirituality and science. So it really is good for everybody. And it's a lot of fun too, and it's super simple. So what you're going to want to start off with is writing down your birthday, and we'll use me for an example. So what you're going to want to do, so my birthday is January 12th, 1988. So for tonight, we're going to be talking about personal year cycles. And this is such a powerful tool in numerology because basically our lives go through these 9-year cycles from 1 to 9. So each year we are progressing through this sort of journey. And as we can learn and really embody the frequency of the number that we are living with in a particular year, we're going to be so much better equipped to deal with what life kind of throws at us and even anticipate what is about to come into our lives. And this makes us so much more relaxed and calm and powerfully spiritual beings, really with that awareness of knowing what's probably going to come up. Sometimes you're going to have to let things go. Sometimes you're going to have to embrace things, and really allowing the changes in your life to manifest naturally and really allowing your life to go with that sort of flow, knowing what's going to be coming up. So the way that we find our personal year cycle is with our birthday. And rather than using the year of your birth, you're going to use the current year. So for example, we'll use me, again, January 12th, and we're going to go with 2018. So you're going to want to reduce your birthday to all digits. So January would be the first month. So we'd write number 1 and 12, 1, 2, and then 2018, 2018. What you're going to do is you're going to add up all those individual digits until you get to a final number. And you're going to keep adding those numbers until you get to one single digit. So for me personally, I'm on a year 6. So when you add up January 12th, 2018, you'll finally get reduced to a year 6. So I want you to do that now. Just whip out your calculator if you need to. Do it a couple times just to make sure that you do have the right number. And then we're going to dive right in. And I'm so excited because this is just going to make your life so much easier and so much better. And this is just one out of about 6-ish numbers that really make up your genetic blueprint. But I love starting off with this number because it really gets you tuned into the frequency that you're living in right now, which is so powerful. So we're going to start off with the meaning of year 1. Basically, we go in this 9-year cycle from year 1 to year 9. So for those of you who are on a personal year 1, let's start there. And I like to think of numerology as a story. And so we're going to kind of go through that story together tonight. So year 1, you want to think all about new beginnings. When I think of 1, I think of a sort of masculine energy, that really strong action taker, that decisiveness, that new beginning kind of masculine energy. represents number 1. So if you're on a year 1, this is a great year to be starting new projects, really be experimental, knowing that you are at the beginning stages of this whole new 9-year cycle. So it really is the beginning of an entirely not only new chapter of your life, but like a whole new book of your life. Really think of it that way. And if you see me looking down a little bit, I just made a couple notes because I want to remember everything that I really want to share with you, because I really want you to get the most value out of this information tonight. So again, giving yourself permission to try new things. It's a powerful year for personal growth. So really allowing yourself to be experimental, new projects, new businesses, probably new relationships, or possibly letting relationships go as you realize what is no longer needed in this next 9-year cycle of your life. So that really is all about year 1, knowing that if you are on this year, it's a powerful, powerful year for you to create change and really start the initial phases to manifest that bigger dream that you have. This is the perfect year for new beginnings. The next year is a personal year 2, which I think is all about the feminine. So if we think of 1 being that sort of masculine action taker, kind of the beginning, 2 being that beautiful partnership, feminine, flowy, intuitive energy. So if you're on a year 2, know that this year is going to be all about creative collaboration, keyword collaboration here, partnerships, community, really coming together with other people. Developing your intuition is going to be a huge aspect of this year for you, being on a year 2. Your partnerships, whether at work or at home, are going to be highlighted. So really tuning into how you can use your intuition to strengthen your partnerships is going to be super powerful for you on a year 2. Practicing your emotional control is definitely a part of year 2. Again, being in that feminine sort of receptive energy. That means like your emotions can be a little bit more fluid. So really about mastering your emotions in a year 2 as well, and really embodying that beautiful feminine energy of partnerships, relationships, everything to do with that. And intuition is going to be really powerful for you. On a year 3, so if we think of 1 being sort of the masculine, 2 being the feminine, 3 represents the child, the creative self-expression. Again, we're kind of like going with this story. So a year 3 is all about creative communication and practicing how you express yourself. So if you're on a year 3, your mental focus is actually going to be a lot more in tune. So it's a great year to study new things. It's a great year for higher education. It is a great year for artists and creatives, as 3 really is that number of creative self-expression and communication. So if you're a writer, a painter, an actor, anything to do with the self-expression type of arts, year 3 is going to be really powerful for you. And doing things that are kind of out of the ordinary, putting yourself in creative situations and really allowing yourself to focus your energy on creative self-expression is going to be really powerful for you in a year 3. So knowing that every year is going to have its strengths and weaknesses, right? Things that you're going to have to go through and navigate and learn throughout those years. So for example, on a year 3, maybe you're not the best natural communicator. So knowing that as you're living in that vibration, that specific year for you, you're going to be challenged and prompted to practice your communication and your creativity. So knowing that in these years, as I explain what the frequency is that you'll be embodying, knowing that those things are actually coming up to challenge you to really strengthen yourself for this process of self-mastery that we're all on in this wonderful thing called life. And that's just why I love teaching people about these personal year cycles, because it really does give you mastery over yourself, knowing what you are divinely guided to work on at this specific year in your life. It's really, really powerful. So that is a year 3, which is really exciting. Now, year 4. So again, kind of like recapping, 1 being the masculine, 2 being the feminine, 3 being that kind of creative, entertaining childlike vibration. Year 4 is a very structured kind of vibration. So if we think of that little 1, 2, and 3 as almost this little family unit, year 4 is about creating structure, almost like a home environment. Not so much the home as in the energy of the home, but in a house, a physical structure to feel safe in. So if you're on a personal year 4, it's kind of a time to actually reflect on the last 3 years of how much you've learned and really allow yourself the stability and support and foundation to just relax and rest a little bit. It's not a great year to make a ton of massive changes. It's really a year about structure and support. A need for rest and renewal, and a year really to consolidate all that you've learned and experienced, right? So it's a great year for kind of purging out the old, letting go of the old, of what's really no longer useful for you. You've learned so much in that couple years, and now a year 4 is really all about consolidating that energy. So that is a year 4. Year 5. Now, I just came out of a year 5 last year. 5 is all about adventure and freedom. So if you are on a personal year 5, expect the unexpected. Know that this is a year where you can't really predict much other than it's going to be a pursuit of your own freedom. Not only physical freedom, but emotional freedom from relationships or environments that maybe are no longer serving you. 5 is all about this desire to travel. So if you're on year 5, it's a great year to plan a vacation or more of a longer sort of journey, maybe like a backpacking, more of like a cultured experience versus just a relaxing vacation. 5 is really, it's the center of the numbers 1 and 9, right? So you're kind of right in the middle of that road where it's kind of like you don't know what's going to happen, and you really have to practice going with the flow and really allow yourself this sense of adventure and to have fun. It's a great year also to be speaking. It's a great year to be spending time with friends and friendship. Many of my greatest friends, my most fun friends, are 5s. So I know this number really well, and that's actually my soul number is a 5. So it's very connected to me. Yeah, it's a major year of change. So knowing that your relationships might change, your home might change. A lot of people move in a year 5, or maybe move back home with their parents, or in a situation where they're kind of in a year of flux. So again, it's just expect the unexpected if you're in a year 5, and that's the best way you're going to be able to get through it, is just going with the flow and expecting the unexpected. And it's really a year to challenge your inner integrity and your inner depth, knowing that chaos can be going on around you and you take yourself wherever you go. So really working on your own integrity is going to be powerful on a year 5, and really just seeing the different environments around you and learning to adapt to those is going to be really powerful as well. So that's a year 5. On a year 6, Year 6, which is what I'm on right now, is all about relationships and the home. So specifically friendships, love, relationships, and really creating a sacred home environment is all about a year 6. So if you're like me and 2018 is a year 6 for you, know that your relationships are really going to be tested. They like to call a year 6 kind of a makeup or a breakup year. So know that whatever is surfacing in your relationships, whatever kind of issues have been going on in your specifically romantic relationships, know that those are really going to surface on a year 6, and you're going to decide whether you're going to deepen the relationship and move through that, or you're going to let it go and both part your own ways. So that's been something very specific that's come up for me this year. And I just want to take a moment to share why this is so powerful to know, because as I am aware of the vibration that I'm in this year and that that's something that's coming up for me, it makes me so much more apt to understand that okay, this is actually meant to be happening right now. And so that's just really the value that I want to offer you as you're listening to this. It can sometimes seem like all this chaotic stuff is happening around us and we don't know why. But as we learn to master ourselves and our lives through these years' cycles, it's so much easier to navigate your life and know what you need to do and what you don't need to do, and how to let go of things in your life and how to embrace things in your life, and to really just trust in the spiritual process of it all. That's really, really powerful. So again, if you're on a year 6, it's a powerful year for love, really calling in the love you really want. I'll get into this in another show, but I do love to connect numerology with the tarot. And on a year 6, it's the Lover's card. So it's a very powerful year to cultivate more loving relationships in your life. And again, knowing that there's going to be two sides to that. A lot of your own stuff is going to come up in the process, your own fears, your own insecurities, your doubts. All of that stuff is going to surface on a year 6. A great, great year to change homes and to decorate your home. There's this powerful sense of creativity that comes in a year 6 that can be very helpful and powerful for your business. So if you can use creativity in your business, it's going to be very helpful and powerful for you, especially if you are like me and you're in the healing arts. A year 6, again, being all about love, is really a year to serve and to share your services with the world. But a key aspect of that, which I am learning to navigate myself, is you can only serve from a full cup yourself. Not even full, but serving from your overflow. And so really making sure that your cup is overflowing as you serve. So taking adequate amounts of time to keep yourself renewed, replenished, a lot of self-care in a year 6. So, and then a year 7 is very, very inward focused. So a year 7 is going to be all about going inward, self-reflecting, really reflecting on the last 6 years of your life, seeing how far you've really come on this journey. A year 7 is really all about studying, going inward, self-reflecting. It's definitely not a year for major lifestyle changes, though some lifestyle changes can be made. It's really more of a year to surrender, to pause, to start researching and studying the metaphysical. 7, as you've probably seen, is a very spiritual number. So if you're on a personal year 7, follow the signs, follow the guidance you're being given. Oftentimes when people are on this personal year cycle, especially when they struggle with kind of surrendering to that higher power, they can resist it. And what happens when you resist some of the signs you're being given, when you resist that higher guidance and that higher intelligence, is you can sacrifice certain things in your life, business, love, relationships, anything like that. You can kind of sacrifice them because you're trying to make decisions with your head versus kind of that spiritual, intuitive guidance. And that's totally okay. And that's part of your journey of whether you'll kind of listen to it or not. But just knowing if you're on a personal year 7, it's absolutely a great year to start meditating, start practicing ulterior or alternative forms of health, metaphysical study, spiritual study, and really a year to trust the people that you will magnetize into your life, the people that you will also be drawn to will be those sort of like healing energies, those more spiritual teachers, and just trusting that whoever comes into your life during that year is really meant to be in your life to teach you something. Also, when you're on a personal year 7, is a powerful year to teach yourself. So if you're feeling the call in this year to teach your own wisdom, teach your own understanding, things that you've learned, 7 is a very powerful year to teach. And again, a 7 is another number that's very connected to me. That's my personality number. So I draw in a lot of people that are on a personal year 7 because in a way they see what they're going through. They see that in me. So just trusting that you will be guided to the right teachers, the right mentors at that exact time in your life. And so we have, after that, year 8. So after you have reflected on all of that stuff with your more inward journey of year 7, we have year 8, which is like, I see like a horse busting through the gates and you are just ready to take off. 8 is all about business, finance, money, managing. 8 is just a very powerful business money number. So as you've kind of taken all that you've learned, especially in that year 7, and that is a really powerful thing to understand as you're on a year 7, knowing that the following year is going to be a very powerful money business year for you. You can almost rest a little bit in that, knowing that it's not maybe the greatest idea to try and push so hard in your business endeavors when you're on a year 7, because you know that's going to come next year. So again, this is just a really powerful way to understand these life cycles, is knowing not only what So that is a year 8, all about business, money, finance, knowing that as you are on that year 8, it's an amazing year for you to start your business or really take your business to the next level, really start managing your money in a really great way, whether this is like opening a savings account or investing money in certain ways or investing in other companies. Just knowing that if you're on a personal year 8, your finances, management, and business are in direct vibrational alignment with that year, which is super, super exciting. And then after that is the year 9, which finalizes this 9-year cycle. So 9, you want to think of 9 months of pregnancy, right? So each number has its own sort of connection. So when you think of a year 9, that's a great way to think of it, is 9 months of pregnancy. In that you have learned and grown so much over this 9 years. And 9 is really a time about endings so that you can create new beginnings for that following 9-year cycle. So know that if you are in a 9-year cycle right now, there's going to be a lot of endings in your life. It's so common for me to meet and connect with people who are experiencing divorce, loss of loved ones, loss of jobs, retirement, all these things that are ending in their lives. I do their numerology, and 9 times out of 10, they're on a year 9. And so just know that if this is what you're going through right now, it's just part of the cosmic plan, and that we go in these 9-year cycles, and that 9 is really a time all about endings. And that's not at all to say if you're in a relationship or a job or career that it's going to end on a year 9, not whatsoever. I don't want you to have that fear or feel that way at all. Just knowing that the things in your life that are coming to an end, it will just be present to you. And so you're really letting go of the old so that you can make new space and room for that following 1-year cycle. So I hope this has helped you as much as it's helped me. Knowing this information has radically changed my life and the lives of my clients. And it's just so, so powerful to know what vibrational frequency you're living in at any given point in time, so that you can consistently reflect and be like, okay, yep, I knew that was kind of coming, and how I can navigate through it. So if you would like to learn more about numerology, continue to watch these episodes. We'll be diving into it even more so. Facebook Messenger is where I tend to hang out. So feel free to come on over, shoot me a message, ask me any questions, and I would love to chat with you. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and trust that your whole life is completely divinely guided. And all you need to do is trust in the process. Take aligned action, follow the guidance you're given, and know that you are ultimately in control of your life, and that you can change your life whenever you want. You're in total control, but also allow that universal guidance to bring in its wisdom for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Taiha Perron. Until next time, I will see you later.